Yo, yo, yo. What is up, everyone? And welcome back to a special Rebel Moon Theory episode. And I would like to say happy birthday to Zack Snyder, the director of Rebel Moon. So, in this stream, we will be diving deep and talking about, Zack Snyder's like history in filmmaking, his filmography and what brought him to filmmaking and what he was doing before he became a movie director. So, our topics will be the history, kind of like before Zack Snyder was doing movies. We'll go into Zack Snyder's filmography, and then for the last topic, I'll be going as to why I really love Zack Snyder's filmography. So, to start off this episode of Rebel Moon Theory, let's welcome. Actually, hold up a minute. So, yeah, without further ado, let's talk about Zack Snyder.
All right, next up, we have something extremely special for you. We have one of the most iconic filmmakers of all time in the house, the director behind the legendary films such as 300, Man of Steel, and Army of the Dead. He's come all the way to Gamescom to talk about his new film, Rebel Moon, which is on Netflix December 22nd. Gamescom, please give a warm welcome to the one and only Zack Snyder. Too much. Oh, yeah. Zack, I know you had to come a bit of a ways to get here to Germany. Thanks for coming to Gamescom.
Thanks for having me out, Jeff, and thanks, Gamescom. How you guys doing? This is awesome. Wow, what a great crowd. It's insane.
Okay, so for our first topic, Zack Snyder before he became a filmmaker, or a movie director, I should say. So, from what I know of, because I don't know everything about Zack Snyder, but from what I know, he used to, have a camera and do like little videos of his Star Wars action figures. And he even went to art school. So here's the thing about it too. Before he became a filmmaker or a movie director, he was an artist. He was doing paintings. And he was even doing commercials around that time. He was doing commercials. So around that time, around in 1997, he had the thought of a Seven Samurai in space. So a few years after that, he eventually became a filmmaker. But when it came to what he was doing before then, like he was an artist, he would do paintings, and he even went to film school as well. And in the 90s, he would do commercials. Like he did a beer commercial, he did a Sonic commercial, I believe. And yeah, so that's what he was pretty much doing before he became a filmmaker. So now we are going to okay, I did forget something actually. So yeah, so he did those. So now for our second topic, we are going to go into Zack Snyder's filmography. And to hop into the next topic, let's watch Zack Snyder cook something extremely well. Zack Snyder's filmography. So, you guys know, Zack Snyder has created a ton of masterpieces throughout the last over 20 years. He has created films like Dawn of the Dead, 300, Watchmen, Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole, Sucker Punch, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League. When I mean by Justice League, I mean by Zack Snyder's Justice League. Army of the Dead. And Rebel Moon. I think I forgot the Part 2 poster. Let me get that real quick. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. Because he did Part 2 as well, and I thought it was in here. So yeah, he did Part 2 along with the director's cuts he had for both Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2. He also did Twilight of the Gods. This animated series, which is on Netflix. This isn't a movie, but it's an animated series. I thought I'd bring this up here on as well because it is absolutely magnificent. So, that is his entire filmography. And speaking of Rebel Moon, you know, with him doing an amazing franchise like Rebel Moon, you know, we got Part 1, Part 2, the director's cuts. This franchise is having comic book spin-offs, which it already has one. It has Rebel Moon, House of the Blood Axe. And it is also getting a Nemesis comic here later on in the future. But it also has the novels. There's novels Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2. It's got, you know, the Womex, the Cosmetology Technology, and Heroes and Monsters books. And let's see here. See if I can. I thought I had the Rebel Moon. The Rebel Moon Bloodline poster as well. Let me see if I can get that in there. There were certain files in here I thought I had, but I apologize. I may have to screenshot it. So yeah, Zack Snyder has created, you know, this whole lore with Rebel Moon. You know, it's not only the movies, you know, it's even the it's even stuff outside like comic books, video games, novels, just all these things. And for example, I can show you guys right here. It pops up. See, we got Rebel Moon the Seneschal, a Rebel Moon podcast. And then we got Rebel Moon Bloodline, which is a video game from Super Evil Megacorp that is coming out. And It's going to be amazing. It looks absolutely phenomenal. But what I'm trying to bring out is that they've had all this stuff. They've even had a game mode in Roblox, Rebel Moon Outskirts Battles, and all these things. So it's even also had action figures. Look at this awesome Jimmy figure right here. And then we also got these. They're not Lego figures. They're mini mites. So I thought I'd bring those up as well. So now I'm going to check up with the chat. Yo, what's up, South Cali guy? How are you doing, man? Doing wonderful. Happy birthday to Zack Snyder. Yes, it is Zack Snyder's birthday. Yo, happy birthday to the legend himself. The Snyderverse lives. Yo, the comics are absolutely amazing, bro. You can get like an all-in-one, and there's like a book I have. It has the all-in-one. And then the podcast was, yes, it was absolutely amazing. So now I am going to go into why I love Zack Snyder's movies. So, one, I really love the storytelling in his films. I think it's storytelling that really, something you can really dive into and just, you can just really think about it. And not only that, the visuals in his movies are incredible. Like absolutely stunning. See, we can look at one from Dawn of the Dead. Here's one from 300. Here's another shot from 300. Look at this shot from Watchmen. And this one too. And there's another one here's one from Sucker Punch. I thought I might have had one from Man of Steel in here. Let me show you all the ones from Man of Steel because Zack Snyder has like amazing visuals in his films. Oh, here it is. Look at Man of Steel shots. I'll remove that right there so you guys see a close look at that. But, yo, look. Here's one from Batman vs. Superman. Just all these amazing visuals. Here's one from ZSJL. Look at Superman. Like, this is phenomenal. Look at Batman right here. Look at Darkseid. Like, this is something that is really stunning. Look at this one, too. This one is phenomenal. But let's go into the Rebel Moon ones. These ones right here are incredible. Look at that. Look at Darian Bloodaxe, dude. Here's the Cowleys. Like all these amazing, like all these visuals are they're just extraordinary. Like this one I think really shows it because I really like the design of Darkseid. But yo, the visuals in Zack Snyder's films are just absolutely incredible. I think they're probably some of the best visuals I have seen in any out of all the filmmakers. I think Zack Snyder does the best visuals. But yeah, man, like Zack Snyder's films really, I think they really taught me that, hey, films, when it comes to films like from Christopher Nolan or Zack Snyder. These two titans, which this is a picture of Zack Snyder meeting with Christopher Nolan. The two goats right here in this one picture. Like, Zack Snyder's entire filmography, man, just like the way that he has his films laid out to where it's not like, a popcorn flick where you just sit back and relax and, you just don't really think about it. Like with this film, you really get to think about it. You just think about all the things that's going on. And the other thing is too, even with his DC films, is that they, when it came to the characters, he put these characters in the real world, where they are experiencing these real world experiences. They were realistic in a way. And, and the same thing goes, with films like 300, Sucker Punch, uh, Army of the Dead, even Rebel Moon, because, Rebel Moon is, absolutely phenomenal. Like even the characters, just everything about it. And it's just absolutely amazing. And let me check up with the chat real quick. Yo, what's up, Dommy? How are you doing, man? That shot from Watchmen is an homage to Apocalypse Now. Yo, Watchmen had some amazing shots. Like they were just incredible. But yeah, I believe not only that, but Zack Snyder's films, like his entire filmography has resonated with audiences because I've been out there in the real world, I've been talking to people and I've come across so many fans of Rebel Moon, not just Rebel Moon, but his entire filmography. And something about Zack Snyder, man, I think, when it comes to him being the blueprint to a lot of things, because, there's a bunch of blueprints that were in a lot of these movies that came out after Man of Steel. Sonic 3 had them. Star Wars The Force Awakens had it. Avengers Infinity War and Endgame had them. Like, just, Zack Snyder is this freaking good that most of these filmmakers have taken inspirations from his films. Even the new Doom game that's coming out is taking inspiration from 300. Like, it's so extraordinary. And it's just like, his filmography to me just, for one, they're films that allow you to think. And second, I believe they really taught me a lot of life lessons when it comes to, some of the struggles that the characters in his films go through. And just it brings people, to films that make you think. Like he's putting these characters in a real world situation. So speaking of Zack Snyder's films, we actually have two more. We have two other Zack Snyder films coming out. We have an LAPD movie that's coming out on Netflix, and then we got a UFC movie that's coming out. And I cannot wait for those. When I went to get back my hate to say, yeah, when I went to go get my hate boy to say Snyderverse, I didn't know what it was. He said it wasn't really interesting. Okay, since this is Zack Snyder's birthday, I just want to kind of keep it strictly on Zack Snyder's projects. Just want to sit back and talk about it with you guys. So I want to let you guys know in the comments, like what's like your favorite thing about Zack Snyder's films, and what's your favorite film from Zack Snyder? I will let you guys know that my favorite one is it's either between Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition or one of the Rebel Moon movies. it's one of those two for me. I really love, like, the thing about Rebel Moon is that, I'm a huge sci-fi guy. Okay, I'm really into sci-fi, and just to see Zack Snyder create this, sci-fi film that's kind of like Star Wars, but not really, and just seeing him, having this, when it comes to his visuals, when it comes to his storytelling, just the way that movie was laid out, I thought was I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, and it was just something really, really, really special. Now, for Batman versus Superman, I really love Ben Affleck's Batman. I do love the approach that it took with those characters because there were a lot of, key points in that movie that really, it really dived you deep into there. Because you remember the monument scene where Superman is, where everybody's going to Superman's monument, and it's like showing like the words at the bottom. It says, "If you seek his monument, look around you." What that means is, if you see anybody that needs help, help them. Be like Superman. That whole point was to inspire people to be like Superman. That's why Wonder Woman went back to saving people and becoming the hero she was. That's why it also changed Ben Affleck's Batman during the end of it, which is exactly why Batman doesn't kill people in Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's just these key points. That's all I'm saying. It's these things right here that allow you to think. And just those approaches right there, that's what I love about Zack Snyder's films. Like, they allow you to make you think, because when you look back at certain things, because you just don't watch these and like them all of a sudden. Sometimes when it comes to films like this, you have to look back at some of the things he's done. If there's something you feel like it's missing, go back and watch it. And then once it gets to your head, you're like, oh, so that's why it's like this. See what I mean? Zack Snyder's films have aged like fine wine. Like, they have absolutely aged. And it is just, really, it's really cool to see a filmmaker have these kind of approaches. Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition is my favorite for a multitude of reasons. Oh, absolutely, man. I definitely feel you right there, South Cali guy. But um, yeah, man, just all I believe that all of Zack Snyder's films have really, not impacted me, but I feel like it's impacted a lot of people throughout these last few years. Like, it really changes people's lives. Like, when it comes to me going to the conventions, I've come across so many people that are fans of Zack Snyder. Um, Even like small conventions, because the ones I've been to are local. And like, you even had Skywalker where he was in the hospital and nurse was loving Rebel Moon. She talked about Nemesis, and then he knew somebody that said that the Snyder could change her life. It's just Zack Snyder's films are like, everybody loves them. Like, they are absolutely successful for what they are, and everybody's rocking out with them. But yeah, I just wanted to give in as to why I love Zack Snyder, kind of give you guys a small insight as to why Zack Snyder became a filmmaker, with along with his filmography, and also letting you guys know why I love Zack Snyder as a filmmaker. So, I know this was a little short stream. I was going to plan this later on tonight, but there was something that went up and I had to do some kind of like last minute reschedulings. But y'all put y'all's last questions down in the comments, because I do have a lot going on today, unfortunately. But I just wanted to do the stream with you guys. I thought it would be very special to do this special Rebel Moon Theory episode in a stream way to talk about Zack Snyder's filmography, considering that today is Zack Snyder's birthday. So put down y'all's last questions down in the comments below. And shout out to everybody who tuned in for the stream today. Shout out to everybody that will also be partaking in the replay crew. And also, I forgot to put this down. Just give me about a few seconds. We have a 318 training event coming up. It's going to be big. 318 is the 4-year anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League since that movie came out. Man, I remember that right there was when that film, that was actually the film that really introduced me to Zack Snyder's body of work. Or not introduced, I knew about his films other than that, but this was like when I knew who Zack Snyder was and what films he did. So we do have a 318 training event. It's going to be massive. We'll probably be doing some streams. I may try to do one. If I don't have a lot going on, I will probably try to bring something out for you guys. But yeah, man, 318 is coming up. Hashtag sells the Epsiode to Netflix and hashtag sells Cyberverse to Netflix. And yeah, that is it for today's episode of Rebel Moon Theory. Sorry if it was a little short one. I will be back soon for another episode of Rebel Moon Theory, and then I also have another stream coming up. I will be doing another stream very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And you Rebels have a wonderful day. Happy birthday to Zack Snyder. Have a wonderful birthday, Zack Snyder, and have a wonderful day, everyone.